Happy Monday. Good evening, welcome. Get settled however feels best. Let's take a few moments to check in. In the most basic sense of checking in, just notice how you feel this evening. Physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, how do you feel this evening? So as you check in with how you feel, maybe you'll take a few moments to commiserate with how I feel. Physically, I ran 25 kilometers yesterday, so my legs, they don't feel the greatest. And what made it even worse is that today, a part of my training plan, I had to go out and run again. I really didn't want to. Every obstacle was in the way. Mondays are typically my busiest day. I teach for about 7 hours, privately and in classes. So mentally, I'm drained. Physically, my body has no reason that it wants to go out and run again. So there's that little voice that creeps in. You don't have to do this. Look how tired you are. Take a rest. You didn't eat enough. You're just not going to have a good time. But even then, I still went out, ran a bit slower. But all of those excuses that built up, they slowly wash away one at a time. This body of yours that is tired still is willing to move for you. So we can be grateful for that. I can be grateful for that. This mind of mine, as much as it's stubborn on not wanting to run and setting up all the obstacles, is still willing to cooperate. And this breath of mine that I breathe on this very tired run, it is there to support me the whole way back home. So notice the baggage that you bring into your daily experience. Not all of it's bad, but we learn to work with it. Some of the tension that you're feeling in your body this evening, maybe you had a busy weekend. Some of you may have been gardening. I don't know if anybody else ran. Maybe y'all ran as well. Some of you just came out of Pilates class at Gym 1 class. Some of you have been working all day. That carries weight. And we just give ourselves an opportunity to lighten that weight in some form of way. Physically, mentally, emotionally, releasing things. The simplest way that we often overlook is just sighing out. Just letting breath out. For many of us, it's become a skill to let go because we're so used to holding on. And this practice on our mat for the hour that we are here, it's a practice in letting go. Letting go of all the baggage that surfaces with each moment that passes, and letting go. So wherever you need to create space this evening, physically, mentally, emotionally, somewhere else, know that you have the power to do so with each breath out. If you have blocks, bolsters, anything underneath you, please be gentle in removing it from underneath you. We'll remain on our backs to start. We'll take a deep breath as we reach our arms overhead, pointing toes away, a full body stretch with that. Breath out, bringing your knees to your chest as you round through your back. Give yourselves a nice big hug. Rock your hips side to side. Massage your lower back a little bit deeper into your mat. Just notice how it feels to breathe in this slightly constricted space. Maybe head, neck, and shoulders lift, maybe they don't. Great. We'll keep our right knee in towards our chest. We'll let our left leg lengthen out. We'll start with a supine twist. Take a breath in, open your right knee wide, create some space. And on your breath out, let your left hand guide your right knee across for your twist. Shoulders stay heavy on our mat, glued as best as they can be. If you're closer to the edge of the room, you may not be able to fully extend your arm, but still a bent arm works fine. Let gravity do the work as you focus on softening the muscles around your joints. Once again, we tune into the breath. Specifically, if we can, once again, breath out. Some of you may need bolsters or blocks underneath your thigh. Some of you are fine without it. Left hand can remain an anchor, not necessarily pushing down on the right leg, but just adding a little bit of weight. Guiding the right knee, not forcing the right knee towards the left side. Now the choice is there. For some of us, quite accessible. For others, it's a bit too much. You can just simply kick out your right foot, creating more length with your top leg. Finding more length through the hamstring as you extend your right heel towards the left side of your mat. For some of us, accessible through the hamstring. For others, creates a lot of tension through the hamstring. So you don't have to straighten the knee completely. Even a soft extension can help. If at any point it feels like too much to work with an extended leg, you can always rebend your right knee. And naturally, since this is shifting towards cat's tail, some of you may choose to curl your bottom heel towards your hip. Option is there, creating a little bit more length through the bottom quad muscle, through the front half of your left hip. Try not to compromise your breath for the sake of finding a deeper stretch. The options are there, but breathing deep is also just a very valid option. And if you lose the depth around your breath, you also lose some of the depth of your stretch. So there's nothing wrong with being curious. I'm a broken record at this point. I say it almost every time. Nothing wrong with being curious. You want to stretch more? Great. But let that curiosity be balanced out with self-respect for the body. Honor your body's limits. Notice how the energy of your breath can influence those around you. So how you breathe matters. And remind yourself those 4 simple qualities of breath that I talk about. Smooth breaths, steady breaths, slow breaths, soft breaths. So these are all moments in which we can observe mindfully. If the breath starts to get rough, pause. Pause before you try to explore more or do more. Turn that rough breath into a smooth breath. If you feel that your breath is losing its balance, just the natural rhythm that is found in the posture, if the breath starts to lose its balance, create steadiness in your breath. If the breath unnecessarily starts to speed up, which it might, pause, slow it down. If you feel that you're taking harder breaths, soften. Simple. Stupidly simple. But we have to feel the value in cultivating these qualities in our breath. Slow reset wherever you are. Slower than your definition of slow. We can come back to center slowly. Legs can extend out. Let any movements you bring in be soft. And just notice how it feels to breathe into this newfound space. That space that had closed up in the posture, can you feel it now that it's opened up? How does it feel to breathe back into that space? We will just be switching sides before we come up into some seated postures, just to even things out. So when you feel ready, left knee can come in, right leg can stay heavy. Your breath in opens left thigh wide, creates some length. Breath out, right hand guides left knee across. If you're twisting closer towards the mirrors, please be careful of your knee. Shimmy off to the side if you need. Check in with your left shoulder. Prioritize keeping that shoulder as low towards the ground as it can be. It's okay, it's okay. As best as we can, we keep awareness of our left thigh bone remaining in line with our hip. So notice if it starts to angle downwards. It may just be that we're stretching a bit too deep, or that we may need some support underneath the thigh bone. For many of us, the first 60 to 90 seconds, it's just a process of slowing down and settling back in. Something has changed. All you've done, yes, the change being left leg crossed over your center line. But we feel the effects of that change. We notice how the body is trying to adapt to this change. For some of us, the body is more easily willing to adapt. For others, maybe not so much. Once again, you have your options, whether now, whether later. Extending out top leg, bending bottom knee. Hands can be of assistance to bind, others will just be passive, no problem. few more breaths. We let go. Hands come off of the legs. Slowly, legs can come back to center. Power of breath out. Use it. We'll slowly work our way up into a seat. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. We'll work our way down from the head, neck, and shoulders all the way down towards the forearms, wrists, and hands. But we'll start with the head and I guess the tops of the shoulders. Strap is available if you wish to use it. I would just end up showing you what you can end up doing. Strap will be very simple if we wish to use it. Hands can hold on to the strap as we roll our shoulders back, reach our hands down, extend our hands away. The alternative, very simply, is interlacing. What I will say is I think for a seated position, the higher up you sit, the more space you will have to work with. So it is your choice. You can sit on your bolsters, you can sit on your shins, whatever works so that you at least feel comfortable and you have some space to be upright. Because when we're working with our head, neck, and shoulders, if tension in your hips causes you to start rounding, you lose a lot of space and it just becomes that much harder to work. So then that leaves us for other options. Once again, we can interlace and reach the hands down as we roll the shoulders back. Some of us a bit more on the passive side, which is just holding on to the elbows or the forearms. And if we have a little bit more space to work with, then we can take on our reverse prayer. So one of 4 options to work with. One is not better than the other. We're just trying to find what is the comfortable space to create stretching. Sitting tall, depressing the shoulders, so keeping them down, retracting the shoulders, having them rolled back. We'll work very simply to start left ear towards left shoulder. We will start with breathing here. So as we dip the ear, just being considerate that the shoulder doesn't lift up. Keeping the shoulder soft, keeping it rolled back, keeping it depressed as opposed to elevated. You can, yeah. Choice is there. One isn't better, yeah. Eyes can relax for the most part. They can soften. If at any point it starts to feel like too much working with the shoulders in the position that they're in, we can always just release the hands. But creating that additional engagement with the arms just allows for more length and space to be created through the upper parts of the shoulders and neck. We'll go to the opposite side. Some of you will twist, some of us will tilt. You can explore a little bit. The intention being top half of left shoulder, maybe left side of your neck as well. Breathe into the space. that okay? And the last is just to extend the chin up. Very soft, semicircular movement can be brought in. You don't have to force your chin all the way up, but we're just looking to create more space through the front half of the neck. Slight difference in angle. Slowly release. Hands can come back in front. Some of you may prefer to round in a little bit, give yourself a hug, tuck your chin in, just see what you need. Okay, well, next one, less of a stretch, more like a massage. And I'm not the greatest to demo because I have a beard, so you can't really see entirely what I do. But we'll be using our thumbs, and we're doing more like a kneading pressure. So think about a cat on like a warm blanket or something like that, just what they do, they make their biscuits. But what we're doing is running our thumb along the inner line of our jaw. So there's a host of muscles that come into the top of the neck at the base of the jaw. And we can move slowly from one side, chin maybe slightly tilted up, down into the middle underneath the chin itself, and then to the right side. And we can work slowly. There's no reason to do this fast. You might end up finding a spot that is a bit tense, and you can spend a bit of extra time in there. It's okay if it feels awkward. Your body will thank me later. You do choose how deep of a pressure you would like to apply, so be considerate with what feels comfortable. We can slowly release. We'll be going in the opposite direction, so we can be a bit more neutral-headed here. But we'll be pulling the skin from the neck down towards the collarbone as we tilt our head in the opposite direction. So, for example, I pull down on the right side of my neck as my left ear tilts towards my left shoulder. As I come up to center to pull down, my chin tilts up. As I go towards the left side, I extend my head to the right. So once again, slow movement. There should be a little bit of a feeling of pulling along the skin, so it's less about just running your fingers and more about having that little bit of added emphasis on pulling down. As we extend our ears in opposite directions, that's the point of reference I like to allude to. For some of us, this does alleviate something like inner ear pressure, which is quite common with up and down weather and change of seasons. I find I can breathe better through my ears when I do this. We'll reset. be moving down into the forearms from here. Once again, less of a stretch, but more of a massage. First little science experiment for you to just see what I'm trying to get at. If you wiggle your fingers, my hope is that you can see something moving in your forearms. That the movement of your fingers isn't just limited to what is in your hands, but there is a movement of some muscular tension being created in the forearms. Confirmation, yes or no? Yes. Thank you. Okay, phew. Otherwise, I'm going crazy. All we need is our thumbs once again. So I can demonstrate here. My left thumb will end up, everybody's gonna have to do a bit of exploring, but I guess the other point of reference, for a moment, palm up. This is a supinated grip. So sup, this is the way that I think about it. Pronating is turning our palm down. So what we need to do when we work with the forearm here is switch between pronation and supination. And I just want you to feel, once again, use your free hand, wrap around your forearm, not aggressively. Rest of the arm stays locked, alternate between supinated and pronated. Do you feel a movement of two bones, which is what it should be within your forearms? So your forearms are rather cool because they do a little bit of spiraling in order to create this movement that's very unique to this joint. So what we do, your thumb gets used. You might alternate with knuckles and things like that. You'll have to explore and I'll come around to assist. We find spots in which we have knots, and most of us have a knot somewhere in the forearm. You may have to go a little bit further down, a little bit towards the bigger end of the forearm, which is closer to the elbow, but you are bound to find some tension. If you can't, I'm guaranteeing you I can. So if you need help finding something, let me know. Move around. We'll be doing this for about 2 minutes or so. But here's the hope. Due to repetitive stress, AKA a lot of us are on their computers, give or take. A lot of movement happens here, but nothing ends up happening here. So this just ends up holding. And tension builds, and as a result, harder for circulation to flow freely through the arm. So what massaging does into this is that it builds up pressure to create some space. I'm gonna come around as you continue to find spaces, these knots, these muscular adhesions within your forearm. If you cannot find something, let me know. Turn, open, turn, that.
Okay.
That. This is not supposed to feel good. I'm sorry. Press here. If it's feeling good, let me know. Left forearm. Turn. Yeah. Simple. You didn't press that one. It's okay. Let's go more towards this side. You hear like that clicking sound? So when we massage into this, that's one of the main forearm muscles that we can find. How you doing? If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Turn. Yeah. So just be mindful. You don't got you don't got a choice. You got nails, but yeah, that's a good spot to start into. Okay. Yes, no. Turn. See that, you feel that ropiness? Mm-hmm. That's your muscle. So that is a line of muscle that runs through. Yeah. Like I said, very sudden, very immediate. I think I can help us all find this one particular muscle.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
There. Yeah. And then we can work along this whole line of ropey muscle. More towards there. You feel like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, we can relax for a moment. Let me see, how can I work with showing this Is it the pronator or extensor? Okay. So like I said, if we were having trouble finding stuff down towards the wrist, coming up towards where our forearm, where our forearm starts, which is, or where the muscle starts, more towards the crease of the elbow. If we roll upwards, so we'll end up, this is my left arm for you, although it's my right arm. We are rolling upwards into this space. For most of us, we should be able to find one of the main muscles that is responsible for moving the forearm. Palpating or creating the motion for some of us helps. Extending and flexing. We'll just end up switching to the opposite side. Once again, I'm just going to come around, help people out. We should be able to identify where that muscle is on the opposite side if we were able to find it on the initial arm. Want me to show? Turn. Yes, no? Feel something?
A lot of pain.
Potentially, yeah. This sucks for my arms. Yes, no?
Yes, no.
Let's go towards this side. Yeah, you feel, did you hear that? Did you feel that? Like that rolling? That. Feel something? Good. No?
No knots and no.
Turn.
I don't feel pain though.
Do you feel like a massage in this space?
Like a,
Turn. This space.
Yes, I got it.
There. But that's something you can find. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, no. Try even up here. Turn.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Oh, I'm holding the wrong space.
Yeah, you're in the right space.
Right there, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Just a couple more moments here. Okay. Great, we can release. So a lot of additional circulation to be provided to the space, and you can even test it, see it, feel it. If you place the back of your hand against some of these spaces that were just massaged into, should be a little bit warmer. That's the hope. That is additional blood flow being sent into a space that has tried to open up a little bit more. Science. We'll be staying in a tabletop for the next little bit just to work with our wrists and forearms a little bit more. What I can say is that as we work with this, for some of us, just a lot of pressure builds up. So anytime you start to feel like things bubbling up, hands can come off the mat. We can roll out the wrists, open, close our fists. We'll just be starting in a tabletop. Fingers can face forward, but we will have our hands slightly closer towards our knees. You choose. And what you can also choose is how far back you start. All we're looking to do to start is shift our weight forward and back. I just prefer to have my toes curled because I get a bonus stretch through my heels and the bottoms of my feet. But breath in, we shift forward. Shoulders may go slightly past your wrists. Breath out, we shift back. We sit back towards our heels. And then you ultimately choose how much weight you're dumping into your hands. So we can keep more weight in the hips, in the lower body, higher up with less pressure directly over top. For those of us with a lot of tension through the forearms and wrists, that is what I suggest. Others, no problem. We can shift more and more weight as time passes, but please be considerate. Pressure starts to build, take a moment, lift, release, shake things out. And then the choice is there. Some of us will stay moving forward and back. You can always explore different movement. Circular, clockwise, counterclockwise. We will be switching. Palms stay on the ground, but we turn our hands out. So fingers point out, thumbs point forward. Hands can come a little bit closer together. And choice here, moving side to side. Elbow may bend, palm may lift, or for some of us, over time, moving circularly once again. If you're moving circularly, try to feel the weight rolling through the different spaces around your palms and hands. Move slowly. You are encouraged to move slowly here. Great. Be considerate with the final movement of that. We will turn the hands further. So thumbs turn out at this point in time, fingers point backwards. Shifting back is what creates the deep stretch here, so please be considerate. Elbows may bend, palms may lift. We can just hold in this space here. Take a moment, release your hands, roll out your wrists, open, close your fists. We will be flipping our palms. So palms will turn up, fingers face in, thumbs face forward. So we're switching the direction of the pressure now. Soft side to side movement once again. Feel free to sit all the way back onto your heels. We can start with that, just soft pressure. Over time, some of us shift more weight, but it's not necessary if we're just trying to work with tension initially. It's going to feel a bit awkward. Staying as you are, we will close our fingers to make an awkward fist and release our fingers. So thumbs and fingers come in, but very awkward fist, no doubt, and we release. We'll just be doing that a few times. Just be considerate for some of us. If we squeeze too much, flex too hard, the inner forearms may squeeze a bit too much and cramp. Great. We can release hands once again, roll out wrists and fingers. One more movement, less about stretching, more about strengthening here. We'll be coming back into our neutral tabletop. What we're looking to do, weight is stacked over top. So I press into my finger pads and my thumbs to hover my palms off the mat, which is just a little bit. If you'll notice, I'm not lifting up through my arms and upper body, so none of my upper body is doing the work here. Weight is slightly shifted over, pressing into all 8 fingers, 2 thumbs, to lift the palms off the ground, lower them down. This should feel more like a muscular activity than a stretch of any sort. Spread your fingers, not aggressively, but just keep some space so that you can send energy into each. Palms return flat on the mat, but we lift them only an inch. So we should have enough body weight over top to maintain that strength. Idea being here, if you were to indulge something like doing fingertip push-ups, very similar type of intention that we're bringing in. So be mindful that you're not meant to get lighter on your hands. We are pressing into the earth while resisting all of the weight that is being placed on top of our hands. Just a few more times here. Great. Slowly release. Take a moment. Roll out your wrists. One last exercise of sorts to just stimulate our lymphatic system. We'll be extending our hands up towards the sky. There'll be 3 rounds of this in which we squeeze to make a fist, we open to spread our fingers. So it's not just a soft close. We do add a little bit of a squeeze if we can. Round 1 will start in 3, 2, 1. So you can find out what that rhythm is, but for some of us, our forearms are going to start to make some noise more so than the hands. I've spoken about the lymphatic system in the past, and one of the challenges of working with the lymphatic system is that it has no internal pump of its own. 5, 4, 3, 2, relax, shake it out. So for the circulatory system, we have our heart. For the respiratory system, we have our lungs. But the lymphatic system, which is our toxin removal system, no inherent pump. Round 2, starting in 3, 2, 1. And so what we're doing is that we're moving the lymph that gets stored up, and we have about 1/3 of our lymph nodes above our chest plate. One of the key ways to move it is by getting blood circulated. So moving, walking, things like this, which send signals to the heart to pump blood into various parts of the body. 3, 2, 1. Because where all this lymph goes is back towards the heart. And so we're sending a really cheeky signal from the heart to this space up here that there's some form of exercise happening that requires blood flow to go up, up, up. But when we release the arms down, it sends it all the way back into the heart, which allows lymph to get recycled through this main space here, which is where a lot of our lymph nodes are. Last round, 3, 2, 1. If you have ever been sick or if you feel very, bogged down by allergies, lymph nodes are things that swell in your body. If you've ever gone to the doctor and they touch your neck or they look down at your throat to see if your lymph nodes are swollen, that is an indication that your immune system is under attack. And why not? 3, 2, 1, relax. Take a moment, child's pose, whatever you may need. Okay. Let's take our time to come into a more proper seat. We'll be prepping for one last posture, our diamond pose. So we'll be coming into a seat. Some of you may choose to sit on blocks just to give your hips a little bit more space to work with. So somewhat similar to our butterfly pose, in which knees bend and open out, but distinction being this. With our butterfly, we end up targeting our groin and inner thighs, but we are limited in how much space we can hinge into. Diamond pose, heels still may be together, but legs extend down. So there's a softer bend in the knees. And if you look down, there's somewhat of a diamond shape between your legs. If you're not sitting on a block, you can always just work with adjusting your hips. Some of us will make this posture relatively soft and supportive. You can always have your bolster available for your body to lay on, which is perfectly fine. Some of you may not need it, which is okay. You may need blocks underneath your thighs, underneath your knees, so you can always have them handy. But as always with forward folds, let's take a few breaths, find length, adjusting hips, pulling in the navel, lifting up through the ribs, maybe reaching arms a bit higher. And on your breath out, we can start to extend. Lead with your chest, extend forward with your hands, eventually letting your hands come down to rest. Chin can stay lifted for the time being, especially if there's a healthy amount of space between your chest and this space between your legs. Others, as time passes and you're able to close this space, we can start to tuck the chin in a bit more. But for most of us, we focus on just creating as much length over top of this space to then utilize our breath out to soften down. Full expression of this posture would lead us towards something like tortoise pose or sleeping tortoise, in which your chest is flat on the ground. Your arms are underneath your legs and extended out. But for most of us, we're just focused on breathing. Forward folds test us. They test us mentally as much as they're testing us physically. There is not a lot of space that we are physically able to make. But what we notice is just how much resistance there is in these micro movements of space. How it's a challenge to breathe fully. To breathe with your undivided attention as you deal with physical, mental, and perhaps emotional pressure in this posture. And it's very easy to cave into that restless energy. For most of us, that restlessness surfaces from our inability to accept what is happening. We wish things felt different, were different. But we learn to build an interest in what is happening right now in this moment. To notice it, we're not running from it, we are trying to face what we feel. Very empowering thing to do. You have all the tools available to help you. But we learn to face what we feel. And the challenge for a lot of us is to surrender, to face what we feel with the softest of smiles on our face. You can grit your teeth, you can clench your jaw, you can tense up your forehead, but that is not meaningful. That is just suffering. And to tap into that little bit inside of you that can be at peace in this moment. Find it. Support it. Breathe life into that space. Oh, you okay? Can we bring arms underneath? Turn your shoulders inwards so palms will turn outwards. Yes. slower than your definition of slow. We can release things as we slowly come back up. Don't rush, don't rush. Zero rush. Notice how it feels to breathe into the space that opens up when you come out. Try not to miss that moment. If there's any additional movements you would prefer from a seated position, we can invite. Soft rock of the hips, soft lean back. We can choose to end with some support with blocks and bolsters. Choices are there. You can prop yourself up in however way you wish, if you wish. Otherwise, just coming flat on your back. Nothing ever wrong with that. It's a great place to be. If you need any movement before settling completely down, please invite. Otherwise, voila, we've made it. From an experience perspective, this class is very unique. From the outside looking in, we've all been on the exact same experience. No doubt some of us stretched physically a bit deeper, bent a little bit more, stretched a bit bigger. But on the whole, from the outside looking in, we all did basically the same thing. But what differentiates the experience for each and every one of us is what was happening internally. That was the real practice. So notice how things feel now. How does it feel to just be still? How does it feel to breathe? Has anything changed in your mind, in your body? Where has space opened up? Please just allow yourself to rest in that space, to breathe mindfully into that space for a few minutes longer. beginning to deepen your breath. Please be mindful of blocks and bolsters underneath you as you begin to move your bodies. Keep your eyes closed, keep your body soft as your mind reconnects to the space around you. Some of you will roll onto your side. Some of you will softly sit yourselves up. Please don't rush as you bring yourself up into a seat at the top of your mat. Letting your palms come to your heart, your chin softening towards your chest. Keeping your eyes closed as best as you can. As much as you may have come into this room for you, I hope you can understand that the space you've created benefits others as well. When you suffer less, you share less of your suffering with others. As long as we are human beings, we are karmic beings, and we are bound to share suffering with one another. So by taking good care of yourself, you inevitably end up taking good care of others as well. So please try your best to take this positive energy that you've created here this evening and sharing it outwards with others that you meet through the rest of your day and the rest of your week. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live peacefully and harmoniously. May you be liberated from your pain and suffering. It's my honor to guide you all here today as we sit tall to seal our practice by bowing forward and humbly saying, Namaste. Awesome. Cool. Please be mindful of your eyes. This was your Monday evening Restore and Stretch. As always, my name is Nav. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, please let me know. You can always join me Wednesday morning at 10:45. That's it. Thank you for joining. Have a great rest of your night. Drink water. See you again sometime soon. Thank you.